Hi everyone, welcome to the Shared Book Reading Program at the University of Kansas. My name is Romy Kowo and I'm a speech language pathology student. Today I'll be reading Not Norman, a Goldfish Story by Kelly Bennett and illustrated by Noah Z. Jones. Please make sure you watch this video in tangent with my colleague's video. Emily will go over story components and how to read Not Norman, a Goldfish Story to your child. Let's get started. Not Norman, A Goldfish Story by Kelly Bennett, who is the author of this book. She wrote this book, and illustrated by Zoa Z. Jones. Noah Z. Jones is the person who drew the stories of this book. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. This is Norman, the goldfish. And it looks like the little boy got Norman on his birthday because I see a birthday cake and I see balloons and some party hats. So this looks like Norman was a little boy's birthday present. Let's see what happens next. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings. A soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and 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 around. This is it, Norman, I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. What does the word trade mean? Trade means to give something so you get something you want more. So the little boy wanted to trade Norman for another pet that he would want more. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry looking fish in a gunky bowl. Look at Norman. How does he look? He looks kind of sad. Let's see what happens next. When I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. Norman is being silly. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog and 7 puppies. It doesn't look like the little boy is paying attention to Norman with all these puppies around him. I wonder what's going to happen. Want to swap one of your pups for Norman? I ask. Who's Norman? Asks Austin. My goldfish, I say. Look, the little puppies are licking Norman's bowl and his water. By the time I rescue Norman, half his water is gone. What does the word rescue mean? Rescue means to save from a bad thing. So the little boy saved his pet goldfish Norman from these puppies. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get back to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose? So the little boy is at show and tell, and Emily says that her pet snake is no longer in his cage. Oh no, I wonder what's gonna happen next. Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No. They're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. Look at the little boy's friends and teacher. They're all running away because the snake is loose. That's so silly. That afternoon, we go to my music class. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and begin to play. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glug, 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 glug. He mouths. What does the word glance mean? Glance means to take a quick look. So the little boy was taking a quick look at Norman, and I wonder what he did. Let's see. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, says Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Norman was singing. That's so silly. So when the little boy glanced over at Norman, Norman was singing. Let's see what happens next. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, scritch. What's that noise? Scratch, scritch, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I wonder what he spot. Norman! He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Look at Norman. He's so cute. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. Norman is such a good pet. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards too. The little boy is looking at all these pets that he wants to possibly trade for Norman. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. The end. Thank you so much for watching our video. We want to give a quick shout out to the Scottish Right Care Clinic for supporting our work here at the University of Kansas. Please make sure to check out Emily's video if you haven't already. And thank you so much once more for joining us. Bye-bye.